Good day. Today I'm going to talk about transition, opportunities, and employment for students of cerebral palsy. What is transitions? Have we ever thought what is it about? Transitions happen to everyone in all stages of our life. For example, let us take our young kids, our young toddlers of 3 years of old, or even more, or younger. Why do we think that we send them to a play school, to a nursery, to a kindergarten? Why are we doing that? Is it because that since we are working, we have to send them to those places? Or because we want them to learn something? Yes, in fact, we are sending them for two reasons. One is to keep them occupied while we are at work. Another is for them to learn something while they do their play. That is a transition we are talking about. Transition for parents to equip their children, the young kids, with some skills, with some knowledge, with some academic skills at a very young age through play. So that when they go to the typical school, normal school, let it be private or government, they're able to match in with the other students there. They're able to communicate, they're able to socialize, they're able to share, they're able to do lots of things where other children are able to do as well. Now, if we have thought a lot about our special kids, what about our special needs kids, especially the cerebral palsy? As we all know, they are either on a wheelchair or a walker, or they have imbalanced movement, they have slurred speech or no communication, but they are smart and are able to cope with life if we prepare them from young. Transition from a childhood to adulthood is a challenging time for everyone, and this is very true for the cerebral palsy children. Transition program is designed to assist individuals in learning new skills and build on the existing skills that they have to facilitate that in their growth. To develop on their transition is to be working on the skills that they have and explore further with an option which includes employment. We have to think about employment for them in the future. Let it be home based or outside or online. Parents with cerebral palsy children have to begin planning early on preparing the child either to enter to school or workforce or live independently and confidently on their own. Parents have to bear in mind that we have to give the child a chance to live on their own. Okay, you can have a few of their friends, have a maid or someone to take care of them, so that they are able to feel that they are able to stay on their own. Just give them the experience of doing it, and for the parents to know how much the child is able to understand. Children with disability find it more difficult to be self-sufficient, and co-occurring disorders is difficult for learning them at the normal space. Special education, therapy, and continued help is needed for a smooth processions into adulthood for individuals with cerebral palsy. Transitions should take place as early as possible with the help of pediatricians and therapists. They are able to provide medical support, focus on their strengthening muscles motor skills, movements, and coordinations through treatment and therapy. Besides that, they also need an individualized special education program created based on the child's ability and limitation to expand a life skill so that they can be independent and well equipped for their teen years and adulthood. We should also introduce socializing to create friendship, relationship, emotional support because this will help them to gain confidence and their communication skills will be better so that in future for their transitions it will be less challenging for both parents and children. Pre-employment training programs, or better known as transition programs, help to prepare CP adults for work, giving them a better chance to secure a gainful employment. During this training, they are also trained with everyday skills such as personal health and hygiene, dressing, eating, drinking, road safety, and management on personal finances. Personal health is very important to them. They have to take care of their hygiene, their health wise, how they present themselves. Health, they should try to be healthy always, not fall sick, have appropriate diet, a well balanced diet, a meal, hygiene, how to keep themselves clean with good scent, good smell, using perfume. As we know that some of these children have an odor because they drool and sometimes they sweat and it gives them a very disturbing aura around them, a bad smell. So they have to know how to keep themselves clean. They have to use deodorant, perfumes, or take bath quite frequently. All these have to be taught to them. Transitions not only happens in school, it also includes vocational rehabilitation, which provides guidance, training, and selective placement for work in general employment. This helps to improve personal productivity, develop social skills, and promote self-esteem at work. Each child's journey in cerebral palsy is different. There are various factors that needs to be considered which affect the living situation, including access of transportation, ability and inability to cook for themselves and carry out daily living and housekeeping tasks, and ability to maintain a job and make an income. For a normal kid, this is easy because we teach once or twice and they're able to do. But with special children, this task has to be broken into more finer tasks and then for them to master each subtask takes some time. Therefore, all these tasks takes time, but they have to learn all this. We have to prepare them for all this. Helping your child learn skills needed to live independently will help them to boost their confidence and provide them with an overall sense of well being regardless of where they live. Some of the common myths with the cerebral palsy children is that they do not make enough money in adulthood to sustain themselves, which is absolutely untrue. Let's look around. What do we have? What am I communicating with you at the moment? Yes, I'm using an internet. I'm using a laptop. I'm using a laptop. I have a handphone beside me. I have internet services. So this is not something new now. Our special children are able to use all these gadgets, and they are even far more IT than me. Therefore, they can have internet connection, call for a grab, or any purpose. They can learn money. They have a calculator. They don't have to use their brains to count on money anymore. They can also hire a maid. They can have a personal assistant. They can have cooks and other professionals for them to live independently. We should instill a good work ethic in a child from young by making sure that they complete their house chores or school assignment. When they are instilled with this kind of attitude that they have to complete, that's why in school, when a child completes a task efficiently, we give them a star, or we give them a pat, or towards the end of the week, we give them a present. That is to make sure that they complete the task. Because when they start completing the task, that attitude will carry on further into their teens and into their adulthood. And it will be useful during their work area. When not all children are able to live on their own, we can consider some other activities for them. We have we have parents who have a group session, parents group session, where they bring their child for socializing or going out and getting things done. Sometimes caring for an adult with cerebral palsy becomes an additional issue. Elderly parents cannot physically care for their dependent children as they grow old. What they can do, it may not be right, but it's only an option if the parents are unable to get a maid to come over or can't get a maid to stay in. They can consider residential living centers because now they have medical staff, counselors, and therapists on hand to ensure each person is taken care of. I'm not suggesting that this is a good thing because children need to be, even adults of special children need to be with the parents under their care. Although we are trying to teach them to be independent, we can ask them to be independent on their own by let them going out with a few friends or spending a night over in a friend's place, something like that. If the parents are very confident with your kids that they can stay on their own, but but under your supervision, where you go by and visit them once in a while and see how it's done, and there is an assistant staying along with them, fine, then you are able to do. That is one big transition where the child has to go through. Entering the early stage of adulthood needs a great planning for the future for the parent of a child of a adult CP. Setting the groundwork for transition is extremely important. Like just as I said to you earlier, if you want the child to be independent on their own, you have to think ahead what you want to plan for the child. Individuals with cerebral palsy should begin preparing for adulthood as early as 14 years old. Why 14? Why not 18 like normal typical kids? 14 years old is the age where you can really see what they are able to do and their limitations. And teachers in school or in vocational section can help to prepare them for the job that they have uh, got to know, or they have already know what's happening there, what type of job is happening at the outside world. Plans and preparation for the future of the students are based on the interest and individualized needs according to the CP and their symptoms that they have. Plans and preparations for the future of the children is not planned by us, not we who say that the child is able to do this, so we focus on this. We can plan that way, but we also need to know the ability of the child and the interest of the child and work along with the child so you can get a better result. If you're going to put your ideas forward, the child may not accept it, or he may accept it reluctantly, but you won't get a good result. When these students, when these adults get a job, they find it difficult to maintain the job because of the co-workers. They have supervisors, they have managers, they have colleagues over there, they are working colleagues. They face problems such as they are not able to understand. Who is not able to understand? The students and the others. The students are not able to understand what the supervisor is instructing because he may be speaking too fast, or he may want the student to complete the job within a certain limited time quota to finish off how much packs he has to do in a day. Um, Communication skills. They are not able to understand what the child is, what the adult is talking about. For the supervisors, they feel that these students are a setback because they can't get their productivity done in a proper way. They can't get the amount of productivity they need for the day. These children needs help. So the supervisor have to leave a job and go to them and assist them, which seems more work for them. And also these students find, and these supervisors or colleagues find that it's difficult to handle these adults because sometimes they feel very angry because the students think that the job is a repetition where they feel bored and they don't like the environment because they're so used to the school environment or the training environment. They are lack of time. They do not know how to adjust themselves according to the workplace, according to the time that is set for them. What can the teachers do? We can take the students to the workplace that they have assigned to, maybe twice or three times a week. We can observe and teach the students how to do the work. Okay? Carry the work back to our center or training center and teach them to continue it better. Later on, as the time goes by, you can't take a long time. Okay, the employer is not going to say, okay, take 6 months and I'll come back later. No, maybe within a month or two, let the child go into the workplace and let him face the working situation. Because we have already given all the transitions, we have already given all the training, we have already spoke to them what to be done, we have already spoke to the managers, the employers, the supervisors, and we have already spoken to the students as well. So now they should be leading on their life. They should also learn to maintain the job, not quit and come. Okay. With the opportunities to implement real-time practical work program, students with special needs have the opportunity to understand and improve their skill in teamwork, responsibility, and ethic in work if this is done. Okay? And they're also able to sustain a good relationship with the staffs there. Although these students work at a new area, they have slow esteem of themselves also. They have low esteem, ashamed, afraid, and refuse to interact with their colleagues or supervisors, even if they have problems completing their work. They find it difficult to talk to them. They find it difficult to express themselves and say, I'm unable to complete the work today. When they get stressed out, they get angry. When they get angry, the work is not done, and there's a misunderstanding between the supervisors, the co workers, and themselves. Therefore, these children need to be understood. The workers also need to know what is happening to them. Perceptions of employers towards CP children are they have a biased view of their ability towards work. They are powerless, inefficient, and they need a lot of help. Refuse to accommodate while undergo job training at their premises, and this will reduce the productivity of the company. This is the view that the employers have. So, the CP adults find it difficulty adapting to work environment to overcome this problem. To overcome this problem, we need help from all sectors to train them, to understand them also. It is also important to overcome their shyness in communication and low esteem because when they are shy in communication, they have a very low esteem, so this have to be overcome. Companies now have provided many opportunities to educate and train all their staffs, including CP staff. Promotion within viable are to those who apply for themselves. They do not isolate special needs students anymore. If they are able to compete with the others, they are given a special promotion or a better training for them to do. CP has a heavy load and all of it often falls on some who may not be well equipped and they find it too difficult to handle. But now, as I said, as I said, with with the training given by the employer to his staffs and others, they are able to work in line with them. They have focused more on development of the CP staff and less on gaining market shares. Well-trained CP staff will in time gain your confidence and will get to the work productivity better. These are some of the challenges faced by the cerebral palsy children, students, while undergoing training at work. But the real list of obstacles are far more wider, including key factors such as supervisors and leaders, leadership issues, work conflicts, or workplace organizational culture. As such, there are still barriers or challenges faced by those with cerebral palsy student at workplace. Efforts to raise awareness to employers, especially in helping students with special needs, to gain the opportunity to work and to be self-reliant in the world of work also need to be improved. This given awareness can help employers prepare to receive trainees for career transitions program as well as appropriate support for students with special needs. Transitions is really needed. A pre-planned program is also really needed. A discussion between the employers and the student is also very much needed to get a smooth transition working and they have a better working environment. Thank you.